I saw a cloud today. I watched it change its shape into a dinosaur, a whale, a mermaid, and a plane. The mermaid was pregnant, and then it turned into a Doberman, and the Doberman just turned back into the sky. Then I saw a real plane flying awfully low, man, dropping toxic chemicals all over my town. Says to help.
Thank you, everyone, for showing up today and showing your support to the Universal Truth Evolution. Hopefully that song sounded a little familiar to you. That was Ian Hannawalt with Dusty Old Chemical Trails. It's one of the favorites in the chat room, at least it was one of mine, during the Aaron days, shall we call them. Well, here we are, second day of the new incarnation of the Universal Truth Evolution show. So, and the interesting thing is, as we're finding out, this whole idea is bigger than just one person, obviously. That's why we're all here. We created this community so that we can express ourselves and what we're concerned for, and what we really want to see going on online in the world, so we can manifest that world that we really want to see and be. So that being said, I really want to express a couple things. One, I'm actually blocked out of the chat room right now, so I have no clue how that's going or if that's down now. So if that's down, sorry, and I'm trying to get it back up. But this is one of the things that, okay, I'm back in the chat room now. Great. So because I wanted to get as much feedback from the chat room today as possible as to what everyone really wants to see out of the Universal Truth Evolution. We've got a lot of support here. There's a lot of things that Aaron did that we still will do, but it just takes a little time to organize again, such as interviews and getting people lined up to have these interviews. Just to let people know, it's not that Aaron did anything malicious or was trying to disrupt anything necessarily in a screw you guys kind of way. He just, some of this came down to the practicality of stuff like who owns what account, and it's kind of like who's getting charged for what services, and stuff like Blog Talk Radio is fairly expensive for some of the things that I think a lot of us are accustomed to, longer interviews and such like that. So right now we're all working to get all of that back going again. And so right now it is just going to be a 30-minute show today. And what I'm here to do is really to kind of help everyone just regroup and then get a good consensus of what everyone wants to do, be it in the chat room or if you hear this in the archive. Feel free to email myself or any of the Universal Truth Evolution members on our Facebook, and let us know what you're thinking. And we want to hear it. We want to hear all of your guys' feedback. And we know that I'm sure some of you will be pretty shocked, maybe a little bit angry about the disruption. But hey, that's how life goes sometimes, and we just have to improvise and really just keep going. That's all we can really do, and that's all we're really here to do anyway. So, but yeah, so we will bring back, the show format in some way, shape, or form. Right now, we're working out something with having Roger as obviously a regular entity on the show, as well as having the show open to other Universal Truth Evolution members to host shows, to do what they want to really kind of create a network, a media network. Because essentially, we're all hearing this whole thing about, it's a war going on, which is true, and it is a mind war of sorts. But then how is that fought? It's fought primarily through the media these days. And as we see, that media is pretty much dominated by the large corporate interests, and for whatever reason, we know their reasons. and so the Internet's really kind of all we got. And so the more we come together, the more we speak our minds and share information that we've gathered, and offer more points of view for others to really discern what is the truth, what is going on, and what is it that's really kind of holding us together. So if you have ideas for shows, please send them in or write them in the chat room. And I actually see Ed Chavez's suggestion about going over the Forbidden Vault. And that's an excellent idea. That's one of the things for like when I host the shows, which won't necessarily be every day. I actually do want to do things that show the tangibility of the stuff in the Forbidden Vault to what's going on in kind of the mainstream, and really kind of grounding everything as much as possible, because I think that's where some of the communication breakdown comes in when we try to share this information. We get frustrated because we're saying, like, why can't these people see this? Oh, my God, these sheeple, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Well, that should let you know. Then you're kind of in a leadership role at that point. So you have to have compassion, and we have to learn how to communicate with each other, because that's really the only way we're going to help facilitate, waking everyone up, so to speak, to who they really are and what, freedoms that we really do have. So yeah, that is definitely something on the plate, Ed, for sure. As well as, even talking about a little more about current events. I know Aaron did that somewhat, but Aaron always did an excellent job at lining up so many guests. He always has these long interviews and such. So the format's going to change a little bit, and I don't know exactly what Roger was thinking about doing for his show, but I know we had talked a little bit, and he would want to do something similar, as well as be able to get guests who he would like to interview, and thought I think the community at large will be interested in hearing. Myself as well, I'm going to have various guests, and I'm sure there'll be times where Roger and I will hopefully be co-hosting shows as well. But the as far as the scheduling of the show, that's another thing that was also open to feedback when everyone thinks it might be best in terms of time-wise. It seems like there's a nice crowd that was setting aside from 1 to 3:30 or so, or 12:30 to 3, that Aaron was doing. So, but the Universal Truth Evolution team agrees that 3 hours every day is a full-time job, really, and all of us all have other jobs because we're all playing the survival game too, or else we could just kind of keep the 3-hour-a-day thing going too. But then also that is just really is a bombardment in a sense. So it'll probably be a 2-hour show, and prospectively, I'll be doing some days, and then there'll be other Universal Truth Evolution members doing other days. And so what will happen is the shows will essentially all be on this one channel, this current one that everyone is listening to right now. They'll just be different times. It'll just be the same time slot, but different hosts at different times. So essentially the format will always remain the same. You don't have to worry about checking out different links and such, unless Roger does make his own channel, which is cool. It's like, the more the better. We need more people speaking anyways, because with the Universal Truth Evolution, it's a collective effort. We're trying to make one voice, and at the same time we honor each individual's path and voice. So it's not to say that anyone can't have their own show. In a sense, like even on the Universal Truth Evolution, that's essentially kind of what's going on. We want to give everyone their space to express themselves in this way, and really kind of, so fight, so to speak, that media war. Even though I really don't like that analogy of fighting, but unfortunately there is some resistance, shall we say. And this is one thing that we can do. And as we know, so many of us, this is the only way we can get some information. There are a lot of the administrative duties really are still with Tamara. and I'm sure many of you know her well, especially in the chat room. And we are all still talking, the team, as to who will kind of end up where and designate what, and really what we're kind of trying to achieve here is sort of like shall I say, a holographic or fractal hierarchy, no pyramid. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what we don't want to do. That's exactly what we're talking about, that we just don't like this idea. So really everyone's just bringing their resources to the table, and we're trying to say, how can we keep this going and, not overextend ourselves. And I think that's one thing that, our dear friend Aaron, really kind of did. I mean, because it's like you can't do this thing all by yourself. And I think, especially not 3 hours every day. That's intense. So, I mean, he's a super soldier and all, superhuman in a sense, but damn, So yeah, the more help, the better, and so that really does help us grow together. So that it's not really about one persona. As we see, it's kind of like the whole instance with Aaron. I understand. It's like it was it's very stinging, shall we say, how things came about. But you know what? Like, the way I look at it, and I know like a lot of people might get pissed off at this a little bit, but in a sense, he did kind of do what he said he was going to do when that Monday. He really did kind of piss off the elite now, because guess what? Look at all these people that just got mobilized to keep this alive, because now everyone's realizing, hey, it is more than Aaron. It is more that it's really about each other. And if it's about each other, then that means it's about all of our communities too. And everyone around the world is talking about this, and so it's all of us. So yeah, he just kind of helped wake up even more people in a sense. So yeah, those of us close to him had to kind of pick up that slack, and left a little bit of a mess. But there's so many people on the team who are so talented and able-bodied that it's pretty amazing seeing actually how everything has been working in unison, to even have like 2 shows in 2 days, jumping now in 2 different channels, and still continuing everything that's going on, and continuing this community, and yeah, that's one thing that just continue this information. Ben Murphy, I mean, he's been such an awesome aid to all of this, and I mean, sorry to touch your badassedness, Ben, but you really are, man. It's like this whole thing about you really have just gone the extra mile for really humanity, kind of doing what you did in terms of the whistleblowing, but then just aiding in this movement. I mean, how it seems so small, but it's really not. Because as we know, it just takes one single spark, and you got yourself a forest fire. And that's kind of what's going on a consciousness level right now all over the world. And so the more we do this, the more we build, the more we unify and not compete, and just recognize everyone's perspective, then the quicker cool things happen, and the less like dastardly things do, because our awareness is there, and it's not on hate and war and all this other stuff. And it's not that we are overlooking that, or we are putting our heads in the sand about that. No, if anyone, I think we here who are listening to this are more aware of where things might pop off in the world than most people who are just following Fox or MSNBC or CNN. We are more aware of that than they are. And so it's like, yeah, I think we kind of already know where to be. And I think for the most part, I'm right, because or else why are you listening to this right now? Because else you'd already be gone. Because there's already been wars. It's not like, they, quote unquote, the elites, the powers that be, whatever you want to call them, haven't been trying to kill us already. And it's not like they haven't already done it to many degrees. So it's not like this is anything new. So that's why I think it's good that everyone really stays calm, because it's like, I'm sure at the top level they'll tell you, oh, this isn't personal, so don't make it personal. Even though, it kind of is, and, we know it's a fallacy. But yeah, they don't know any better. A lot of these people, they're deeply, deeply traumatized, as I'm sure Aaron would attest to, and anyone who else has had any insight into some of these secret societies and what they're raised into and all this other stuff. It's like, they're just like all of us, man. They're all messed up. We all have family issues and other issues with different things, because we're all here experiencing the same 3D experience. That's what's binding us together right now. So yeah, this is really an exciting time to be alive, and and I know the chat room looks like it's very active. So if you guys want to chime in on anything, or feel free to call in. Actually, I'd love to talk to anyone about their thoughts, or if they have any more questions on what's been going on, and anything I can answer, I will. But yeah, that is right now. Everything is still really up in the air concerning the format. We have been getting offers for generous donations to extend the time of the show, which is going to be great, because then now we'll be able to actually be able to invite more guests on again and have a good substantial conversation than just trying to cram things in half an hour. Yeah, you can maybe get like one question in on that. As far as the next show goes, I think we'll probably just continue, with the daily thing until we get a good reason not to. I think what I would do, if I haven't had a chance to talk to Roger today, I know he's been through a lot as well, and he's probably resting up today, which is awesome. But I don't know, he has planned. But if there's nothing planned, then what I will do is I'll come up with a topic for topics for the rest of the days here, and we'll see if I can get anybody to do like a quick call-in session within our known network here, maybe even possibly even past guests or something who are aware of the situation and can lend 5 minutes on the phone to kind of keep things a little more interesting right now while we make sense out of everything. So in a lot of ways, that's kind of why in a sense I'm sort of rambling a bit. Just to let you know where I'm coming from too, because I know a lot of you really haven't talked to me that much. I mean, I know I've called in here and there. You've probably seen me mentioned a couple of places. Aaron maybe said something, but yeah, just to kind of give you guys an idea of my style and how I deliver things as well, and what I'm bringing to the table in terms of variety. So, but that's the thing that I think that all of us really do appreciate, though, is the variety. So once again, even people who have maybe been listening and thinking well, I think I can do a great segment on whatever, let me know, and that's something that I would be interested in having on my show too, because I really do want to open up the platform as much to the novice as well as the expert as well as the hobbyist, and just share the perspective. I don't really necessarily believe in levels. I understand that there are different understandings of proficiencies or levels of proficiencies in a sense, but at the same time, true information is universal. And so in that sense, it's always known and always will be known and always has been known. So we all just really have to remember it. So that is what it is to remember ourselves. And that's really where the empowerment portion of all of this comes in. And Aaron always liked to love the empowerment portion of what he did too. The empowerment comes from realizing yourself and realizing who you really are, beyond just this understanding of this reality here on Earth. because it's a short experience. And whether you've maybe had experiences that kind of are, maybe you already know this or believe this within yourself, or you haven't, you have to just look at it in the sense of a collective perspective, and you see that just the fact that the collective recognizes this in the form of just experiences that continue themselves make it true enough. I've never seen George Washington walk around, but I'm pretty sure he existed. And if he didn't, well, he just as good as have anyways, because we still act on the notion that he did. One would say the same thing for any dogmatic figure, for that matter too. But it is a matter of belief, and so that's why I think we're here. Because we believe strongly in the truth, because we do see behind the lies. And I think all of us here who are listening to this have caught flack by somebody at some time for just not buying into the crap, for just not playing along. And it's about time that all of us are getting together. And, we can call it 2012, we can call it the shift, the gathering. So who cares? It just means we're coming together and voicing. Because this is one thing I often point out, is that, I don't believe it when people say that humanity is a cancer and they're bad and they're horrible beings. It just doesn't resonate as truth to me, because if that was true, then these people, these elites, these Illuminatis, whatever, they wouldn't be able to get away with what they're doing. Because people like us who know, we would have already pitchforked and torched their asses. But we're not like that. We're not like them. We're not here to kill things arbitrarily or just for our own gain. And that's how the majority of people are. And so we have to wake people up, though, and let them know that you have to be able to say no, though. We have to say no, and we should say no, but we don't have to be like them. And, it's interesting how this all plays out, because we know that there's a lot more to this reality than what most of us have been told coming into it. And so this is another great reason why we have this thing going on. Oh, I have some callers here. I'm gonna go ahead and get them on. Caller 407 area code. Are you there?
I'm here, Jerry. How you doing?
Good. Who's this?
Ben Murphy.
Oh, Ben. Hey. Awesome.
Hey, how you doing, bro?
Oh,
I'm good. I'm good.
Good. Wow. So yeah, Ben. I have another caller here too. Might as well just bring him on and see what's going on.
Sure.
He gets hung up, actually. So, all right, Ben. Well, I'd love to hear what you have to say on anything here at this point.
Well, at the moment, what I will say is that I understand that the other day Aaron was talking about some very serious stuff and stuff that he took very personally. So I understand why he's got very angry. Now, I want everybody to understand something. Aaron's got pretty damn tough skin, because if you ever looked at any of the YouTube videos, what people say about him, it was just absolutely horrible, okay? Now, factor into that, but that now there's another equation in Aaron's life, so now he's very protective of that, and, I understand that as well. The problem is, when you have forums, when you have any kind of chat room, people let everything fly. I've dealt with IRC guys. I've dealt with guys like Armic21 with Boxed Entertainment, and trust me, some of the stuff that goes on in those forums, it's just, you can take a serious topic and they can turn it on its head, and that's just what happens. You cannot take that seriously. Mm-hmm. What I think was failed to be understood is that there are a lot of people out there that, don't necessarily get access to the chat room or go in the chat room, but they do listen to the show. And there's a lot of people out there that take this very seriously. Now Aaron wants to go out and do his thing and be more physically active. And that's cool. That's cool. Okay, Aaron, you go off and do that. That's wonderful. But don't take away the hard work that's been done so far, because that's not physically active. That's more destructive than anything else, because you're taking down information that people need. You've got a lot of people out there that are asking questions, that are scared, still waking up. They don't know what the hell's going on. And this is a lifeline. This is almost like a crisis line for some people, and it really is.
Yeah.
Some people don't realize how deeply they need this information, or just to have somebody who possibly understands, and that's a big thing. And that's why I'm fighting for this, because I'm a very strong believer that, and myself, I know down sure myself, I'm very physically into this. I don't just sit at home or sit behind my computer. I go out there and make things happen. So with the HG6 building and everything that I talked about, I went out there, I got the information, I got the pictures, then, what else happened? We went out there and, are very proactive with what we're doing. So it sometimes can be very distressing when you think that a subject is not taken seriously, when it's taken seriously. We know it's taken seriously. We know that people are interested in this, and I think that it just needs to be more of a reevaluation more than anything. And now it actually has served a good purpose, because I think that more people are actually going to look at this and are actually going to say, well, you know what, next time maybe we'll take this a bit more seriously, because of look at the consequences of what could happen. And I also want to say that this is not on any one man. I don't believe that Aaron is a tapestry that held the glue together. This is the universal truth evolution, okay? And that's to do with everybody. This is about the people, not just one man. And I believe that Aaron would agree with me on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know I agree with that for sure. Couldn't agree more there, Ben. And once again, I appreciate all you've done for this movement on so many levels. And I think that I'm sure in the future we'll be able to have some good shows where we can delve into some of the topics, in particular, that you've come to be known for. And like I was telling my wife, one day I would love to have an animated GIF with you sort of like kind of punching me in the face, just because I think it would be hilarious. So
nice.
Just over and over, just like bam, 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 bam. Because I think there's people who want to do that anyways, and I like to give people what they want. So at least in some fashion. So.
well, thank you very much. I'm glad you want to punch me in the face.
No, like you punching me.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the super soldier decking the guy, the goofy guy behind the computer kind of thing. So, yeah, So, so just be really funny, I think. But yeah, don't mind my humor. It's very dry and can be pretty weird sometimes. So.
That's fine.
But yeah, so that's cool, Ben. I'm so glad that you called, because we're actually coming down to the last minute and a half here. So thank you for calling, and I don't know anything else you want to say real quick before the show's over here.
Just real quick, that I know that there's a lot of people that want this to continue, and it's true. We're not going to go away. We're not going to stop. It doesn't matter what form it is. Okay, the ball started rolling, and it doesn't matter who it is, when it is, where it is, or what show it is. It ain't going to stop. So that's all I got to say.
Yeah, very true. You can't unknow something once you know it. Sorry, it just doesn't work that way. So, but yeah, all right, Ben, and everyone in the chat room. Thank you guys for your added support. And soon we'll be back with longer shows. So I'm sorry, caller, I didn't get to you who just came in, but we are pretty much out of time since we were on a different account. So all right, everyone, thanks again, and I'm just going to play us out with a different little tune here. So talk to everyone next time, and thank you once again. this is a test now for the archive. I'm not even sure if this is still recording or if anyone will ever listen to this ending part. But this is a new account, so I figured I would test it. So thank you, everyone, for listening once again, especially if you're listening to this ending. It's kind of like seeing a little added little flash at the end of the movie. So, but unfortunately, there really isn't that much of a, cliffhanger on this one. Just a test. So, talk to you guys again soon, I'm sure. Thank you for listening. Bye.